Hello and welcome to Spectrum TV News at 2. I am Frank Cizadet, coming to you live from Yo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State. We'll take a look at the headlines.
At one point today,
Federal government says Navy's role in safeguarding maritime domain yielding positive results.
By the collapse of 2 U.S. banks and the rush takeover.
INEC votes 3 billion naira to fight electoral cases. Plus,
14%
Mississippi faces more extreme weather after tornado reportedly kills 25. We will bring you details of these stories and more in a moment. Many thanks for staying with us. First in the news this afternoon is a report that the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has said that the role of Nigerian Navy in securing the Nigerian maritime domain is yielding positive results. Speaking while delivering a goodwill message at the Shipping of Stripes ceremony, Mohammed noted that the Navy's effort led to delisting the country from the list of piracy-prone nations, including the removal of war insurance premium paid on all ships arriving the country to foster maritime commerce and trade. And while the Chief of the Naval Staff, Awal Gambo, congratulated the newly decorated Rear Admirals for reaching the peak of their career and urged them to justify the confidence of a proud and deserving nation. In the meantime, the federal government has reconfirmed that the 2023 National Population and Housing Census will commence on May 3rd. A member of the Publicity and Advocacy Committee on the 2023 National Population and Housing Census, Dr. Garaba Abati, reconfirmed this in Abuja. He said that the 3-day exercise would commence May 3rd and end on May 5 across the country. Abari, who is the Director General National Orientation Agency, explained that the census exercise would capture every person, household and structure for national planning and project execution purposes. On education, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is set to deliver a public lecture following the King's College School Annual Africa Week 2023 event in London, the United Kingdom. According to a statement released by his media aide Laolo Akande, the Vice President is hosted as a special guest by the College African Leadership Center ALC and will confer with top officials of the prestigious institution for his lecture. The event, which is an annual celebration of research, education and outreach activities on Africa, is said to bring together academics, researchers and students, offering an opportunity to hear from African scholars, leaders and thinkers. On electoral matters, the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC says it has budgeted over 3 billion naira to defend the results of the February 25 presidential and National Assembly election and the March 18 governorship and state assembly polls. According to reports, several candidates who lost in the elections have filed petitions at the presidential and state election petition tribunals to challenge the outcome of the polls. Recall that the INEC chairman Mahmood Yakubu lamented that the commission was handling over 600 cases in several courts across the federation. However, the commission, in its election project plan for the 2023 general election, earmarked 3 billion naira for the prosecution of election-related cases. Meanwhile, the governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress in Adamawa State, Aishatu Ahmed, also known as Binani, has demanded a review of the results of the March 18 governorship election in 16 local government areas of the state. The Independent National Electoral Commission declared the governorship election in the state inconclusive, with a plan for supplementary election in 69 polling units. However, date for the supplementary elections in 69 polling units across 47 registration areas where elections were cancelled is yet to be fixed. But the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Amadou Fintiri and Binani, disputed the outcome of the polls and have taken their battle to INEC's headquarters in Abuja. Still on electoral matters, the United Kingdom has said that the mission is working on the list of those it will slam with visa ban. It also said the mission had between 5 and 10 names on its list already, noting that more would be added. The Deputy High Commissioner to Nigeria, Ben Jones, made this known while speaking on a current affairs program on Nigerian Information. According to him, the names of defaulters would not be published as expected in some quarters. Reacting on his Twitter handle, Fani Kayode urged the British envoy to steer clear Nigerians' internal affairs. In a separate development, the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) has raised the alarm over fraudulent use of its name and logo by scammers using dubious websites and social media accounts to defraud members of the public. Its Director, Corporate Affairs, Ambosade Ibitoye, in a statement informed stakeholders and beneficiaries of its programs that the NDDC was not in any way involved in the circulating 100,000 household grant to support small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, by granting financial assistance to all Nigerian citizens and businesses. Ibitoye also noted that the fraudulent household grant application 2023 tagged Niger Delta Development Commission Support Fund is a scam. The Commission urged the public to be wary to avoid falling victims to fraudulent activity by some dubious individuals who impersonate the NDDC. Away from that, the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, ASUP, has written to the Minister of Education, Adamu Adamu, demanding compliance with the judgment of the National Industrial Court in Abuja, which sacked 5 rectors in federal polytechnics. In a letter to the Education Minister, ASUP National President Anderson Ezibe recalled that Justice Obaseki Osage sacked the affected rectors following a suit by the Academic Staff Union. He said judgment has been delivered in the suit in agreement with the union's contention that the persons so appointed do not have the requisite qualification captured in the law to be so appointed, amongst other declarations of the court. Meanwhile, the West African Examinations Council, WAEC, has council manual confirmation or stamping of certificates of candidates who sat for the West Africa Senior School Certificate Examination from 1999 till date. A statement by the council said this was due to the recently innovated WAEC digital certificate platform designed for a seamless and timely mode of availing stakeholders of their candidates' certificates. A statement added that efforts were underway to expand the platform to accommodate candidates from 1980 and updates would be provided to the public as they become available. It further implored stakeholders and the public to utilize the digital certificate platform developed to ease the bottlenecks associated with the manual access and confirmation system. We move now to Africa, where military and civilian political leaders in Sudan have begun talks in Khartoum on bringing the government-backed militia and the RSF under the control of the army. The talks were part of an agreement signed in December meant to pave the way for a return to democratic rule and due to be adopted formally in less than 2 weeks. Meanwhile, the army chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, who seized power in a coup 2 years ago, said he wants to put an end to the armed forces supporting dictatorial governments in Sudan. Still in Africa, the Kenyan Railways Corporation has suspended all its commuter train operations in the capital, Nairobi, ahead of today's anti-government protests called by opposition leader Raila Odinga. In a statement, the Kenyan Railway management attributed the decision to unavailable circumstances. However, the train operator said all its commuter trains between the old railway station in the city center Nairobi Central Station to the Nairobi-Mombasa Railway Station Nairobi terminus would run as scheduled. Reports say the opposition coalition is holding protests in Nairobi and other parts of the country to push for electoral reforms and reduction of prices of basic commodities. Move to the foreign scene, where storm has reportedly ravaged Mississippi as they struggle with an aftermath of a huge tornado which killed at least 25 people, with devastated communities bracing for a fresh bout of extreme weather. Mississippi officials say dozens of people have also been injured and that their toll could rise. U.S. President Joe Biden has freed up disaster aid. However, the National Weather Service (NWC) warned residents of Mississippi and neighboring Alabama of potential new supercell thunderstorms that could produce a few strong tornadoes and large hail. Meanwhile, Red Cross officials from Alabama and Mississippi, John Brown, said an area has been set up for an infirmary. Boxes full of food and medical supplies have been shuttled in to support storm victims who had lost everything. Still on the foreign scene, NATO has condemned Russia's dangerous rhetoric after Vladimir Putin's decision to station tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus. The organization, which is closely monitoring the situation, said the move would not lead it to change its own nuclear strategy. However, Ukraine has called for an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council to address the potential threat of President Putin's announcement. According to reports, President Putin said Moscow would not be transferring control of its arms to Minsk, noting that Belarusian leader Alexander Lukashenko had long raised the issue with him. Meanwhile, EU Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell urged Belarus to opt out of the deal with Putin, warning the country could face further sanctions if it went through with it. Still to come in the news,
I think 14%.
Super Eagles seek redemption against Guinea-Bissau in African qualifiers second leg today. Do stay with us.
Collapse of 2 US.
Business exists only to meet the needs of the people, but there's an extra advantage if your product and services are pitched on a platform that gives you the added advantage over your competitors. For your desired return on investment and so much more, advertise on Spectrum Television, on StarTime's DTH Channel 421 and on free-to-air with a frequency of 12733. Spectrum Television, broadening your horizon.
Many thanks for staying with us, and now to the rest of the news stories. In the business news, the National Insurance Commission, NICOM, has said that the oil and gas sector has recorded 36% premium retention in 2022 and ranked as the underwriting sector with the lowest premium retention in the country. NICOM disclosed these in its bulletin of the insurance market performance. According to the report, the average premium that the entire insurance companies were able to retain stood locally at 71.3% in the period under review, noting that in the face of operational challenges posed in domestic and global economies, the industry continued to post inspiring numbers in business retention, reflective of the market resilience and increasing capacity. The reports further stated that the attainment was as a result of growing awareness and market expansion, as well as consumers' confidence. Still in business, the Nigerian Exchange Limited disclosed lower last week as investors took stocks of the hike in the monetary policy rate by the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) and continued with their profit-taking reports. Reports say at the end of the trading activities last week, the market capitalization declined by 13 billion naira, noting that all share index closed at 0.04%, lower at 54,892.53 compared to 54,915.39 that it started with week with. Similarly, all other indices finished lower except for the Nigerian Forex Exchange Market, Consumer Goods, and the Exchange Growth, which appreciated by 1.11% and 2.90% respectively. We move to health, where a total of 922 cholera cases have reportedly been recorded in Nigeria, and 32 of them succumbed to the disease in 2023. This is according to the latest situation report obtained from the World Health Organization, WHO. WHO stated that the data include the suspected positive rapid diagnostics test and laboratory confirmed cholera cases, noting that the case and death numbers presented are unreliable due to the differences in reporting systems and underreporting. The health body added that as of March 20, 2023, at least 24 countries continue to report cholera cases with reference to historical transmission patterns and seasonality. Still in health, the National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control (NAFDAC) has alerted Nigerians to the recalled Enzrika and Delsam pharmaceutical eye drops. The recall is contained in a public alert signed by NAFDAC Director General Professor Mojisola Adeyeye in Abuja. She said that the eye drop was recalled in February due to suspected contamination with Pseudomonas aeronisa, a highly resistant bacterium, noting that laboratory testing identified the bacteria in open Enzrika bottles from multiple sources. An NAFDAC boss added that unopened bottles are currently being examined to check whether contamination occurred during manufacturing and advised healthcare professionals as well as consumers to report any suspicion or adverse drug reaction caused by substandard and falsified medicines to the nearest NAFDAC office. And from the excitement world of sport, the Super Eagles are super eager to redeem their image in the reverse fixture of the 2023 AFCON qualifiers against Guinea-Bissau today after failing to fly against all expectations in the first leg. Recall that Super Eagles on Friday lost 0-1 to Guinea-Bissau on home soil, a result that left many Nigerians in shock, with a visibly NFF President Ibrahim Gusau almost tongue-lashing the players for their lackadaisical approach to the game. Speaking to newsmen before departing for Bissau, Everton midfielder Alex Iwobi admitted that he and his teammates failed to capitalize on the numerous goal-scoring chances they created in the match played at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja. He, however, added that he was confident that they would beat their opponents convincingly in the next game. Still in sports, England forward Bukayo Saka's goal has inspired a 2-0 win against Ukraine, maintaining a perfect start to their Euro 2024 qualifying campaign. Saka is said to be one of the standout performers in Arsenal's climb to the top of the Premier League this season, and the forward was at his very best once again at Wembley. Dismissing Ukraine ensured the positive mood will continue, while England waits to resume their qualifying campaign against Malta and North Macedonia in June. We move to entertainment, where Apple Music today has announced Loyiso Ginjana as the latest feature artist in its Africa Rising Artist Development Program. The music streaming platform noted that the selection for Apple Music's Africa Rising honor is in recognition of his impressive progress after making his debut in the mainstream pop scene. The South African singer and songwriter is said to have made history as the first South African artist signed to Republic Records in America, with singles Easy on Me in 2021 and Speak in 2022. Still on entertainment, American rapper Sean Carter, popularly known as Jay-Z, has found himself richer than ever as he cements his status as the world's wealthiest rapper. The 53-year-old music mogul is now worth $2.5 billion after Forbes updated its estimation of his net worth. Reports say Jay-Z recently crossed the $2 billion mark threshold due to his recent sale of a majority of his 50% stake in the luxury cognac brand Dosag back to its parent brand Bacardi, which earned him a reported $750 million, adding that he has also been riding high after Billboard ranked him as the greatest rapper of all time last month on the list of the top 50 MCs ever. And that's all we have for you this time. Do ensure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtv.ng. You've been watching Spectrum TV News at 2. I am Francis Edit. Many thanks for watching, and to enjoy the rest of your day.